Hi everyone, welcome back to Nuskrit, and in this video we'll extend our discussion on Stream API. So in this video we are gonna look at very interesting examples wherein we will be using some list of integers or list of strings, and then we will be converting them into maps, right? Maybe map of boolean of a list of a string, then map of integer of list of a string, like that, right? So this is literally going to be very interesting video, right? So without wasting any time, let's look at the very first example that we will be using today. So let's say, for example, I have a list of a string and let's call it as, let's say, words, right? Let me just import this list. Let me have some of the words. Let's say arrays dot, as list. You can do like this also, maybe not like this, but you can do like this. Maybe list of a string, right? Words is equals to new array list, right? And then maybe you can add individually, like words dot add, like that. So maybe you can do anyway, right? But I'm just following this particular way so that you learn a new interesting thing, right? So let's say, for example, what I'm doing is I'm creating a list of a string of words, right? And I will be passing some of the words. Let's say, for example, apple. Let's say Bangalore, and you may consider any number of lists, any number of strings in the list. So let's say this is one of the lists that I am considering right now. It's a list of words. Now what I want to do is, say for example, I want to fetch, first of all I want to apply some conditions, apply some filter on that, right? Let's say, for example, let me apply some filter. Let's say words dot stream. So as you already know, like, first of all I will have to convert it into a list of stream to apply the filter, right? So what I'll do is I will simply apply words dot stream, right? And then after applying that, I can apply filter word, right? So dot filter, and now in this filter condition I will have to give some condition. So what I can write it here is that let's consider each of the word which is present in this stream, and we will be following, or we will be applying some condition, let's say for example on length, right? So I am saying that you need to filter all those words, let's say, whose length is less than, let's say, 5, or maybe let's say equal to 5, right? So I am filtering out of all the strings that I have, I am filtering all those values, all those strings which are having length less than or equal to 5, right? After filtering them, so now this is the point wherein you need to understand how we will be able to convert this list of a stream, right? Like this stream, which is a list of a string, we have converted list of a string into a stream. So now we are looking at like how we can convert this stream into some map, right? So this is one important thing. So after applying the filter option, you need to collect them, right? So what we'll do is whatever list, whatever filter you have applied, it will again give you a list of strings only, right? So on those lists, like on that particular stream, you need to collect them, right? So collect them first of all, and after collecting them, there is a collectors class, right, which you need to use. So what we will do is basically now we will be using some grouping by functions, right? So we will be passing grouping by functions, okay? And then after applying this grouping by function, what I'll do is, so this is a kind of lambda expression that we are taking over here, that just convert whatever strings you have, right, and whatever length you have, okay, you just group them together, and then we will basically print them, right, as out. And let's say, okay, first let's receive this particular words in some map, okay? So I'll basically receive in this map, and this map would be of integer, comma, list of string, right? Let's call it as, let's say, filtered strings, okay, or maybe let's say filtered map, whatever. Let's call it as like this, and then we will be printing this filtered map, okay? Now so what we have done is we have simply first of all converted this words into a stream of strings, right? And then we have applied a filter condition, like a condition that just filter only those words, only those strings which have length less than equal to 5. So apple, mango, cat, dog, and that's it. These 4 words will come like as a new list, new stream, right? And on that stream, what I'm doing is I'm collecting them, and then I'm basically applying a grouping by function. So now if I run this, so you will see in the example, so we have basically converted this particular thing into a map of length and this string. So this is nothing but it's a function, right guys? It's a proper function. So basically you need to pass this as a, like on what thing you want to group them, right? On what thing you want to group them. So you are just mentioning the function over here, right? So string dot length, and that's it. So this is the key, okay, and then you are getting the list, okay, grouping by the length. So that's the one example. Now let's take some other different example, and we will be basically looking at some more interesting examples after that. So maybe this time let me take a list of, let me comment that first, because maybe we will be using these things once again. Now let me take a list of integer, right? Let me take a list of integer. Let's call them numbers. And again I will create a list, arrays.as list, and then I will create some numbers. Let me do that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and maybe let's say 10. So these are the numbers that I have created, 1 to 10. Now what I want to do is, again, first of all I will do the same thing. I will take these numbers, I will take this list and I will convert them into a stream, because without converting them into a stream you can't really apply that filter and some other function. Now let's filter them first of all. So we have filtered them. So how we will filter? So take each of the number, and maybe let's say this time what I want to do is I want to calculate only even numbers, right? Only even numbers. Okay, so what I'll do is I will say, okay, if num modulo 2 is equals to 0, just filter those numbers. So what it will do is it will take this entire list, and wherever this number is divisible by 2, it will filter that, right? So new stream will be of 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Now what I want to do is I want to collect them. So apply the collect function, and we will do the same things, collectors dot, and then we will again apply the grouping function. And this time, this is a very important condition, right? So now you need to pass, you need to basically mention like in what way you want to create the map, right? So here guys, you will actually pass the key, right? Here you will pass the key, okay? Here you will pass the key. And how that key will be passed? Either you can write the expression, okay? How can I write the expression? So you just pass num over here, and you just say that if num modulo 2 is equals to 0. And this is the expression that you have passed. So this will be created, like this will create a key of like that, right? And basically this will return the map of boolean comma list of string, list of integer. Now you must be thinking, how would I know like it is a map of boolean? I will tell you that, just wait for some time, right? Let's call it as filtered number, right? Filtered number, let's call it filtered number, and then print it out. So I will tell you the reason, okay? And let's run it this first. So you will get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 as a true value, right? So why I got to know like this will be a boolean key, right? So guys, see, this is a expression, right? And if this expression comes out to be true, right, then it will be a boolean, right? I hope you understood this. In the previous example, that was not an expression, right? That was not an expression. That was the proper key that we passed, right? That you need to consider the length of each of the string and make that as a key. Here we are really passing the expression, and based on this expression, based on the evaluation of this expression, it will basically create a list. Okay, I hope you have understood this, right? Now suppose, let's say if I don't want to pass this filter function, right? You must be thinking, okay, how this is being done. So let me just give you an example. Let's say, for example, I don't want to write this filter function, because after writing this filter function, the updated list will only have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? And you are just grouping them together, right? So there is no sense. Let's try to remove this. Let's say I'm not writing this filter function. Now, once again, I have a list. Now this time I have a complete list of these integers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And now I am collecting these numbers, and I am now grouping them on the basis of this particular condition, right? So now let's see how we will get the output. This time you will get two different things. You will get the false also, and you will get the true also. So because here I am writing expression, so what it is doing is, wherever you are getting this condition to be true, so that particular number is getting assigned to this particular evaluation, which is a true. So true will get 2. So say for example, it will start from 1. So it will check first of all 1, whether 1 is divisible by 2. So it will return false. Hence the value, the expression that is evaluated is false. Hence the false will become as a key, and the value on which the expression was performed, that will come out to be that particular in this particular list. So false, and 1 will be added to this. Then again 2 will come. So first of all, this expression will be evaluated to 2 on 2 basically, and the value, the evaluated expression will result in true. And because it has given you true, on the value of 2. So this 2 will be added to this particular true list, right? I hope you have understood this. So here we are actually passing the expression, and it actually depends on you whether you want to filter whether you want to apply some filters on that or not, right? So this was the second example. Let me just comment this, and let's now take a third scenario, and third scenario which will is very interesting. So say for example, again let me have some words. Let me just take this list only, right? Let me just take this list only, and what I want to do is first of all, let's convert this words list into a stream. So words.stream, and now on this stream I want to, let's say, apply some filter condition, and that filter condition is nothing but that let's take each of the word, and maybe like I want to have a filter of this time, let's say, length. I want to say that, let's say, if word dot length, right, is greater than 2, or maybe let's say 3, because we don't have any element of 2. So let's take 3. So if word dot length is 3, what I want to do is I want to first of all collect them. So collect those values, and again apply the grouping by function. But this time I want to apply the grouping by function in some other way. So what I want is that I want to group them together on the basis of the first character, right? On the basis of the first character. So let me pass it as in this way, like, so consider each of the word and just fetch the character of this 0, like the 0th character. On the basis of the 0th character of each word, I want to group them, right? So you are just passing the condition over here, like on what basis you want to group them together. So in this particular case, I passed the length. Here I am passing the expression, that if this expression comes out to be true or false, on the basis of that you have to group them together. Here I am passing the first character. So I am saying that whatever the first character of each of the word is, you just need to group each of the word according to that, right? So this will give me, so you should guess this first of all, right? Let's call it as filtered, maybe map is equals to this. You should guess this. So here it is an expression, and this expression is nothing but it will give you a single character, right? That means this time this map will be of character, because the expression that you are writing to evaluate them, to group them together, is involving character only, right? You can see that it's a character only. The expression is involving character, right? Character condition is on the basis of character, and then this will give you the list of string only, right? So I think that's it. Okay, let me just print it, right? And let's say filtered map. Let's print it and see what is the output of this particular case. So you can see that it is basically have grouped all the values which are greater than 3, right? The whose length is actually greater than 3, and then it has basically grouped them together on the basis of first letter, right? First character. So we have only one, like we have only single word which is starting from A, hence it has grouped them together. But we have two different words which are starting from B, hence it has grouped together in a list, as per the condition of the first letter, which is B. And similarly for other first characters of all the words which are of length greater than 3, right? So this is the third use case that I wanted to show you, right? I hope you have understood this part also. Now let's take the fourth example, and let's say we want to perform the grouping on the basis of range, right? So once again, what I'll do is I will take a list of integer, let's say, because range makes sense on integers only. So list of integer, and let's call them as numbers once again, is equals to arrays.as list, and let me pass some number, maybe 1, then 5, then maybe let's say 10, then maybe 12, then maybe 13, then maybe 16, then maybe let's say 27, or maybe let's say 17. You can pass the numbers in any order, that doesn't make any difference. You can write bigger value first, then smaller value, you can use any format. Let's say these are the numbers that I am taking now, and first of all I want to, let's say, convert them into a stream. So convert them into a stream. If you want to apply any filter, you can do that. Let's say for example, I want to apply a filter wherein I want to basically ignore the numbers which are greater than, let's say, 20. So what I'll do is, for each of the number, if number is greater than 20, okay, I want to basically take the numbers only. Okay, let's apply two different conditions. I want to say, like, if number is, let's say, if number is greater than equals to 10, just consider that number, and if number is less than equals to 20, consider those numbers. So what it will do is, it will basically, out of all these numbers, it will actually, filter out the numbers only which are ranging in range 10 to 20. But this is already we discussed in the last video, right? That's not we are looking for, right? We are looking for something else. Now what I want to do is I want to collect them. And basically using the collectors.grouping by function, I will collect them, but I want to basically collect them on the basis of range. So what do I mean by that? Let's try to understand. Basically my expectation of the output is that I want to have a key like this, like 15 to 20, right? Or maybe like 10 to 15 first. So I want to group them together like this. If 10 to 15 numbers are there, I want to write numbers over here in a list. And if numbers are from 15 or not 15, let's say, maybe, okay, let's make it 14 and let's keep it 15. And numbers if are ranging from 15 to 20, let's say, then I want to have them in a separate list. So that's what my expectation is. That's what I want to write, right? But how can I make it possible? This is very, very interesting example. So what I want to do is, first of all, I have applied a filter out of all the numbers, and now I want to group them together. So because I had told you that thing, that whatever expression you will pass over here, it will become a key. It will become a key. So definitely this time the map that you will receive, it will be of a string, because this expression can be written in a string format, right? So this will be the string, and the value that you will get, that would be a list of integer, right? So this will be your return type, right? And let me call it as, let's say, filtered range, right? Filtered range, right? And but this is very important. Like, what should we write over here? So what I'll do is, so first of all, how you can categorize a number, that whether this number will be in this range or that range. So definitely you will need a number first of all, right? Without having the number, you can't actually predict that this number will go into this particular key or this number will go into this particular key, right? So without having number, you can't basically measure that. So first of all, you need to have this number over here. Once you have this number over here, what you will do is you will apply some condition over here, that if this number is less than 15, right? You really don't need to write whether it is greater than or equals to 10, because you have already applied a filter, right? And we have a filter because so that we can, we don't need to write this condition over here. That's why we have the filter thing over here. So if my expectation is that I want to have first 10 to 14, then I will apply the filter first. So filter is already applied, right? So you just need to write this condition over here, that if number is less than 15, you need to make this key. You need to make this as a key. Otherwise make this as key. Right? So I told you that thing, that the expression that you will pass over here, this will become as a key. So on these numbers, on the basis of this condition, you are saying that this will become a key or this will become a key, right? So if you write like this, and now if I print this map, let me print this, maybe filtered range, and let's see whether, like, what is the output of this particular scenario. You can see that. So numbers from 10 to 14 are in this particular list, and numbers from 15 to 20 are in this particular list. So I hope you have understood this case also. Let's look at the very last example that we want to do, right? So let me just comment this, and let's take a last example. So again, let's say last example, I want to once again have this list only, list of strings. Let me just take this list of strings. So again, we have some of the words present in a string. Definitely you need to know, like, first we will convert them into a string. Then if you want to apply some filter, let's say we want to apply some filter. So this time what I want to do is, I want to have, let's say, two different conditions. That first of all, word dot, okay, so consider each of the word and filter those words which have length greater than 3 first of all. Let's say this is the first condition. And the second condition that I want to have is, let's say, word dot char at, or maybe let's say 0 is equals to let's say b. Okay, so I have filtered some numbers. First of all, that word length should be greater than 3, and then word dot char at 0 should be equal to b, or maybe you can pass one more condition like this, or the word dot char at 0 should be a. You can pass these two conditions, that I want to fetch only those words which are starting from a or b, and word dot length should be greater than 3, right? So now you want to collect them. So collect them, and definitely you will need to use collectors dot grouping by function. And then after that, because you are applying, you want to have the first character as a key. First character as a key, right? So what you will do is you will pass over word over here and you will say word dot char at 0, right? So you need to first of all have this key, because unless you won't mention what should be the key, it will not give you the answer, right? So, and for to basically make the first character as a key, you will need a word definitely, right? So you will first write word and word dot char at 0. So word dot char at 0 will become the key of this particular map, and the list will be the filtered numbers that will be passing this particular condition. So what it will return me this time? So again, it will return me a map of character, right, comma list of integer, right? And let's call it as filtered, let's say filtered words, whatever you want to call, right? And let me just print it. So s out, and let's print it filtered words, and let's try to run this. Okay, there is one problem that we have got. What's the problem that we have got? Oh, sorry, this is a list of string here. This will return me the list of string. Let's just run this once again. So you can see that now what it has done is, it has first of all filtered the numbers which are greater than 3, and then it has filtered on the basis of characters also. And I have passed that the character at 0 should be B, and then the character at 0 should be A. If both of these conditions are true, you can return any of them. Like the first character should be A or should be B, right? And but the length should be greater than or equals to 3. Now let's say, for example, if I make this apple as app, so this word now will become a length of 3. So this word is starting with A definitely, but this word is not having length greater than 3, right? So now if I run this once again, you will see that A list will be removed. It should be removed. Why it is not getting removed? Okay, I think the order of the value is mismatched. So we need to pass this condition like this. Okay, that's good. Now if I run this again, you will see that A has gone now. So I need to pass like this brackets, right? Okay, because this was an AND condition, right? Fine. So I hope you have got something interesting in this video, right? And maybe you can try with them, you can play with them, right? These are the very good examples that you will use, in your day-to-day life when you will be writing code in the industry, right? Because you get lots of like long objects in your outputs, right? So you can maybe like you will need these kind of groupings and then filters. So this can play a very important role in your day-to-day life. So that's it from this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, keep learning.